Okay, let's start. Good morning, everyone. Okay, so let us start. Okay. So this is our second lecture on railway engineering. So we will continue. Till now we have learned what is the necessity, why we need to design, do geometric design. Okay, and we have also learned some important terminologies like gradients, grade compensation. Okay, and we have also solved one numerical based on this grade compensation. Okay, now we will discuss these terms: horizontal curve, speeds, radius, super elevation, cant, deficiency, and negative super elevation. And if time permits, we will try to solve some examples. Okay, so curves, right? Okay, see, curves. As we said that yesterday, I've asked that why we are providing curves. Simon answered that for changing the direction. Okay, whenever we want to change the direction of a track or of a roadway, then for smooth riding, what so that there will be no certain exertions of your centrifugal force exerted on the your vehicle, okay, is exerted on the vehicle. So in order to prevent that, what we are doing, we are we are joining the two straight path with a curve. Okay, so to connect important places also, to change the directions also, and also to avoid obstructions. Okay, so in see, one point is here and another point is here, and in between there is something like obstructions is there. Okay, so how we will go, we need to change the direction and we will go like this. Okay, so whenever we are changing our alignment, then we are providing curve. So here we will provide one curve, here we are providing one curve. Okay, please remember this is top view, not the longitudinal view. Okay, this is the top view, you are looking from the top. Okay, so to have longer and easier gradient, then also we need to provide curves. Okay, to balance earthwork. See, this is important to make our pathway economic, construction of the trackway in economic. We are doing this geometric designs and all. So now, whenever, see, if you are moving from a straight path and you are moving on a curve, obviously you will feel some difference. Okay, when you are traveling in a straight roadway or in a curved roadway, there will be difference, you will feel some difference. Okay, so what happens, for that what you have to do, you have to slow down your speed. Okay, okay, so there, if there is the possibility of, there is the possibility, what are the different objections? So first is that your speed gets reduced, that means the speed must be restricted. Why? Because on the curve what happens, centrifugal force may act in the outward direction. If we move with the high speed or whatever speed that the train was arriving, traveling in the track, level track or in the straight track, if it uses the same speed to travel this curve, then what happens, there may be the chances of accident, derailment or overturning. Okay, overturning means derailment. Okay, also because of this force also, what happens, unequal distribution of loads on the rails occurs. That means this the rails or we can say the wheel at the outer railway track. This is inner, this is outward. Okay, so the wheels will exert more pressure on this outer track. Okay, so this is called unequal distribution of the loads on the rails. Okay, and also what happens, in order to prevent all these things, we have to make sure that we have to provide more fittings. Okay, to prevent the lateral bending of the rails, it should be more fittings should be applied here. Okay. Now, types of curve, as I said, horizontal curve is used for changing the direction, and vertical curves, it is provided in basically in whenever there is a change in the gradient. That means whenever there is a change in your elevation. Okay, in your reduced level, if there is a change, whether it is rise or fall, that time we are using vertical curves, and whenever there is a change in the direction or change in the path, we are using our horizontal curves. Okay. See, change in the alignment of the track. Okay, so and what kind of curves we are using? Circular or parabolic transition curves are provided at their ends. That means, see what happens. Suppose this is straight path. Okay, here it is curve and again straight path. So in between these two, this is circular curve. Okay, circular curve means here the radius will be same throughout the arc. Okay, but in between these two, what happens, we need to provide some transition curve. Okay, suppose it will be like this. You are moving, coming from here, this is your circular curve, and you are going this direction. Okay, so when this straight curve ends, we need to provide one curve which is the transition curve. Okay, then we will give circular curve, then again transition curve till here, and here it is the straight path. Okay, so what are the kind of the types of the transition curve that we are providing? It is circular or parabolic transition curve must be provided at the ends of this curve. Okay, we have already seen in geometric design of highway also that what is the purpose of transition curve? Where your rate of acceleration, rate of centrifugal acceleration will be smooth. Okay, there will be no sudden jerk, and if there is suddenly and also the rate of attainment of super elevation is smooth in this case. Okay, if we provide here transition curve in between the circular curve and the straight curve. Now, classifications of curves are what? Simple curve, an arc of circle. Compound means what? A combination of two or more simple curves. Okay, and parabolic, basically it is used in vertical curves and transitions curve. Okay. Now, see, first topic was what? We have to learn in the curve what happens. These are the topics. Okay, see. Okay, where is the topic? See, these are the topic that we need to cover under the horizontal curve. Speed. Okay, as we said, our speed will get restricted. The speed at which it is traveling or it is traveling in a straight track will not be same with that of the when it will travel from a curve. Okay, there will be some restrictions. So we have to design, or we have to get those values. What should be that maximum speed? Okay, and based on those speed only we have to design our super elevation or cant. Okay, and also we have to design radius, and there will be one terminology, cant deficiency. What is that? We will explain. And also one terminology, negative super elevation. Okay, so these three are very important. Okay, and for determining this thing we need to calculate this speed also. We will see how. So before starting this, we will have to know what are the types of the speed, not type, how to calculate the speed on the curve. Okay, so we will learn that one only. Okay. Safe speed of the train, speed which is safe from the danger of overturning. I said that whenever we enter a curve, an outward force will be exerted on the vehicle or on the train, then it has a tendency that it will push the train out of the track. So when it pushes out, that means it will not skid, right? Our way is permanent, it is not skid. Then what happens? It will get overturned. Okay, or it may cause derailment. Okay, so we have to maintain some safe speed inside the curve. Whenever there is a curved track, we have to reduce the speed to safe speed. Okay, now in which factors it depends. This calculation of safe speed depends on which factor. First, strength of the track or the power of locomotive. Second, gauge of the track. Okay, we will see one equation will be there. There we will see that these terms are there. Gauge of the track, radius of the curve, super elevations. Okay, whether it is present or transition curve is present or not present. Okay, depending upon that also your speed will be varied. Now these are the formula. The first method for calculating the speed is Martin's formula. Okay, so please remember, or you can note it down also. See, Martin's formula for safe speed on curve. There are two types, two cases: when transition curve exists, and another is when transition curve does not exist. Okay, so we know that basically there are three types of your gauges. Gauges means what? Inner to inner distance between the two rail. Okay. Say for example, I will see here. See, this inner side, inner face of the rail and inner face of the rail. Okay, so distance between these two inner faces is known as the gauge. Okay, and depending upon this length, what is the distance? We have divided the gauge into three categories. What is that? Broad gauge. Broad means the length distance will be, gap will be more, broader. Okay, so broad gauge. Another is your meter gauge, and third one is the narrow gauge. Okay, narrow, it will, the width will be very less, the spacing or the gap will be very narrow. Okay, so first broad, then meter, then narrow gauge. Okay, please remember this, and depending upon this type of gauges, your velocity will also be increasing or decreasing. How much super elevation we need to provide, it also depends upon the gauge length. Okay, so see here. So when transition curve exists for broad gauge and meter gauge, we have to use this equation. Okay, either this, or we can say this is rounded to 4.4. 4.35 is rounded to 4.4. This is 3.6 is rounded to 3.65 is rounded to 3.6. Okay, so you can take this or this. For broad and meter gauge, how we will calculate the safe speed? Using Martin's formula. If transition curve is provided, then we have to use this formula, where r is the radius of the curve. Okay, and v is this one. For narrow gauge, it is this one. Okay, and whatever we will get, that value will be in kilometer per hour, whereas r will be in meter. These are numericals, empirical formula, so don't get confused. This is in kilometer per hour, whereas this is in meter. Okay, and if transition curve is absent, then what we have to do? Transition curve is provided, that means our ride will be smooth, so your speed, you can keep higher values of speed. Okay, but if transition curve is not there, then what happens? We have to restrict our speed, we have to reduce our speed. Okay, so it is said that it is reduced by 20% or 4/5 times. So see, this is what? 4.4. If transition curve exists, then v was this much. Okay, if transition curve doesn't exist, then what happens? V will be 20% of this, or rather we can say 4/5 into this one. Okay, if we multiply 4/5 into 4.4, we will get 3.52. Okay, similarly for narrow gauge also, 3.6 into 4/5, 20% or 4/5, same, right? 20% means 4/5 only, so we are getting 2.92%. Okay, and if your speed is high, for higher values of speed, okay, that is if your sanction speed or whatever that has been sanctioned, okay, if that speed is very high, which is greater than 100 km per hour, this means what? This speed is what? When the train is traveling from a straight track, there is no curve and all. That time, suppose speed was your 150 km per hour, okay, then at that case, what will be the safe speed on the curve track? Okay, for that particular train, that will be your 4.59 into r. Okay, for greater values of v, this v is nothing but the, don't get confused. Okay, again I am saying we are calculating this speed for the curve. where this one is sanctioned speed of the train by railway board, or we can say this is the average speed of the train when it is traveling from a straight track. Okay, where this v is the speed of the train when it is traveling from the curved track. Okay, for lower values of speed, we have to use this formula depending upon whether it is transition curve is available or not. And for maximum, and if your speed is very high, then we have to use this speed. Okay, so 4.58 under root r. Clear? See here, now r, every formula there is r. Okay, so we have to calculate this, design this r value also. Now how we will design? We know there is a relationship between degree of the curve and the radius. Okay, now what is degree of the curve? As per the definition, it is what? It is the degree of the curve is defined as the angle subtended at the center, angle subtended, this is the angle subtended at the center by the chord of length 100 feet, or this is the chord. Okay, chord means this one. So this length is 30.48 or 100 feet. Okay, so if this length is 30.48 or 100 feet, then the angle, if we join this line and this line, okay, we will get an angle. That angle is d degree. Okay, or rather we can say d degree is formed by is defined as the angle subtended at the center by the arc of 30 meter. Okay, we can say in that manner also. This is chord is this one 30.48 and arc is 30 meter. Okay, so we know that. What is the perimeter? What is the circumferential perimeter formula of a circle? If this is your circle, okay, what is this length then? And this is your r.
2 pi r.
2 pi r, right? So the total length is 2 pi r, and what is the angle that it will subtend? 360. Okay, so what happens? 2 pi r length is subtended by the angle of 360. Okay, and we know degree means what? 30 meter must be subtended by d degree. Okay, so 30 meter is subtended by then how much? 360 by 2 pi r into 30, right? Into 30. Okay, so if we substitute all this value, then we are getting what? We are getting this value. Okay, so this is the degree subtended by 30 meter arc. 30 meter arc. Okay, and we know that is equals to d. So this is the relation. Okay, we will use this equation in our questions, in our problems. Okay, please remember, or you can note it down also. Okay. Now why? See, why we are reducing the speed? Okay, so curves with the smallest radius and largest degree of curvature are restricted on the basis of two factors. That means we should not provide curves which has very small radius and largest degree of curvature. Okay, these are the reason. Largest degree means what? Say for example, radius is this much, whereas your angle is very high. Okay, so we cannot measure, we cannot construct such curves. Okay, why? Because of the wheelbase and sharpness of the curve. Wheelbase means what? Wheelbase was what? It was the gap between the two axles. Okay, so if degree of the curve is large, then for the length of the wheelbase which form a chord of the curve, vehicle does not run freely. Okay, so it cannot run freely because if your radius is very small and the degree is very high. Okay, so in that cases your wheelbase, it will remain intact with the length of the wheelbase and the chord will be like the same. So it cannot travel easily. Okay, and also sharpness of the curve. What happens? Greater effort is required on sharp curve in hauling the vehicles than on the straight curve. So for this reason, we cannot provide this thing. Okay. Now see, super elevation also increases with degree of the curve. Obviously, more is the degree of the curve. Okay, then we have to provide more super elevations. Okay, and these are the limitations. See, in case of broad gauge, your degree of the curve, maximum degree of the curve that we may provide for broad gauge is 10. For meter gauge 16, and for narrow gauge it is 40. Okay, and corresponding R value we have calculated. So you can remember this for MCQ purpose also. Okay, what should be the maximum degree of the curve which is allowed for broad gauge, meter gauge, and narrow gauge? Now, another term is what? Your types of curve over, radius over, how we have to calculate radius, that is also over. Now comes super speed, how to calculate speed, that is also over. Now comes super elevation or the cant. Please remember all these are the horizontal elements, okay? Horizontal geometric design elements. These are horizontal curve elements, okay? Super elevation, but here we will, sometimes they will denote it as a cant. Okay, they will instead of super elevation they will use this word also, cant. Okay, now what is cant? Cant is nothing, as we know that whenever we are entering a curve you will feel that your outer edge is slightly higher, okay, and your vehicle will tilt like this. Okay, then what happens, that how much your outer edge is higher than the inner edge, that is your super elevation. So see, this is the inner rail, this is the outer rail, elevation of your inner rail is here, elevation of your outer rail is here, then what is the difference between this two elevation, that will give you the super elevation. Okay, so and from this they will ask you to derive this formula, very important formula which we will be using frequently from this geometric design. Okay, they may ask you to derive also. So you see, this is the super elevation. See, you can see that outer edge is little bit higher than the, that means that it is little bit tilted, right? See, you can see it is tilted. See, outer edge is slightly higher than the inner edge. Okay. Now, why we need to provide necessity? We know that for counteracting the centrifugal force, right? What happens when it tilts? Then see here, when it tilts, its component, weight component will get generated in this direction, which will tackle the outward force. Okay, see here, this is the outer edge, that means force will be acting outward like this, and the component of the weight, or this we can say the sign component of the weight, will act in this direction, which will help to counteract the centrifugal force. Okay, for faster movement of the trains, right, if we provide super elevation, then our speed restriction will be less. We will reduce the speed, but that reduction will be less. Okay, reduce wear and creep of the rail. Creep, I think you know, this is nothing but the movement of the rail. Okay, along the direction of the track. Equal distribution, to provide even and smooth running track to ensure comfortable ride to passenger. Obviously, if the smooth, if it is fast, everything will be comfortable. Okay, now we will derive the relationship between this. E is what? This is your super elevation, or we can say cant. Okay, G is the gauge length, that is the inner to inner distance between the railway track. Okay, V is, since this is in capital V, this will be in kilometer per hour. Okay, if it is in small v, it will be meter per second. Okay, this is actually the corresponding speed of the we can say of the given super elevation. We know that with increase in speed we have to increase the super elevation also. We have already derived in our geometric design of highway also. We have find the relationship that V and E are directly proportional. If we increase the speed, we have to increase the E. Okay, so it is corresponding value, and R is the radius in meter. Okay, and we know that relationship between R and D, that is R is equals to, or D equals to 1720 by D. We have already calculated. Okay, now let us derive the relationship. Suppose this is your embankment. Okay, this is the outer portion. We are entering a curve. Okay, this is the outer edge, this is the inner edge. So outer edge is slightly tilted above. That means it is slightly higher, at the higher elevation than the inner edge. Okay, these are the rails. Okay, now as I said, inner to inner distance. Okay, see, inner to inner distance is the gauge length. Okay, whereas the corresponding slanting distance is what? It is denoted by S. Okay, gauge is what? This is a vertical distance. Okay, this distance must be vertical. So inner to inner distance, vertical gap. Okay, and with this one is tilted gap. Okay, now see, parallel to this tilted, we are drawing one line, and parallel to this gauge, we are drawing one line, and the angle between these two lines is alpha. Okay, which is rate of super elevation, and the distance between these two length, this two line is E, which is nothing but the super elevation. Okay, so this distance, actually this much distance is the super elevation. This point elevation minus this point elevation is giving you super elevation. Okay, this is the inner wheel, outer wheel. So distance between the outer and the inner reduced level of the inner outer and the inner wheel. Okay, inner rail is E. So if we take this graph, if we take this triangle, okay, if we increase the size of this triangle, it will show like this. See, this is S, see, this is S, okay, and this much is G, and this is alpha, and this is E. Okay, now tell me, using this triangle, what is the value of cos alpha and sin alpha? First tell me, cos alpha equals to So this triangle is basically right angle triangle. This is the base, this is the hypotenuse, and this is the perpendicular. Now tell me, what is the value of cos alpha? Cos alpha is equals to cos theta equals to क्या होता है? Cos alpha equals to बोलो
base by hypotenuse.
base by hypotenuse. ठीक है. So here base is what? G, and hypotenuse is S. So G by S. And sin alpha is perpendicular by hypotenuse. Perpendicular is E, hypotenuse is S. Okay, clear? We will use this formula. Okay, we will use this. Okay. Now draw the railway, our wheel of the rail. Okay, of the train. So this is the wheel. Now the weight of the wheel will act perpendicular, right? Like this, perpendicularly it will act. So suppose this is the weight. Okay, and this is the sin cos component of the weight. Okay, so this angle is alpha. Okay, which will, this W cos alpha will be perpendicular to this. Please remember, this is slipper. Okay, so perpendicular to the slipper, it will be W cos alpha, and this is actually G. G will act as them perpendicular to this value. Okay, ground level, perpendicular to the ground. Okay, and this is W sin alpha. This is the sine component of the weight, W sin alpha. Okay, now centrifugal force, where it will act? Centrifugal force in which direction?
Outer.
Outer. Okay, so it will act outer. Okay, but it will be parallel to this line, horizontal line. Okay, so it will act like this. Now we have to find cos component and sine component, and also we know by formula that, by physics, that centrifugal force F equals to mv square by r, right, where m is W by G. Okay, so W v square by gr, where here it is small v, which is meter per second. Okay, now the cos component will be F cos theta alpha, and this is F sin alpha. Okay, now we know what super elevation does. It will counteract the centrifugal force. Now which centrifugal force? The cos component of the centrifugal force. How? By its sine component of its weight. Okay, sine components of its weight. So this must be equals to this for equilibrium condition. Okay, otherwise what happens? It will get chance to derail from the railway track. Now resolving the forces, what we can see, that F cos alpha is equals to W sin alpha. Okay, and now substituting the value of F cos alpha and sin alpha, what we will get? F is equals to this much, cos alpha equals to this much, W into sin alpha is this much. Okay, so we have substituted the values. Now what will be the value of what we are calculating? We are basically calculating E. Okay, what should be this super elevation we are designing? So now after calculation, we are seeing that E equals to, see, W cancel out, S cancel out. So E equals to G V square by R, small g r, capital G V square by small g r, where whatever here V is in meter per second. If you use, okay, please remember, if you use this equation, your V should be in meter per second, okay, R again in meter, this is your 9.28 whatever, okay, 9.82, and this is distance, this one, inner to inner distance, okay, vertical distance, inner to inner vertical distance, okay. So if we put V in meter, then we will get E in meter, okay. And if we put V, if we want to put capital V instead of small v, then we will use this formula, okay. When you want to put speed unit as meter per second, use this formula, okay. And if you want to use speed unit as kilometer per hour, use this formula, okay. Actually they have all converted everything, this they have converted V into kilometer per hour and so divided by G 9.82, and then they have get this value, okay, 1.127 R. So E, this is the equation. Mainly we will use this equation only, where capital V is in kilometer per hour, Gauss is in small meter, I mean meter, R is also in meter. And if your broad gauge is given, that means G value is 1.676. We know that broad, this distance will be, for broad gauge will be much wider, which is 1.676. If it is meter gauge, simple, it is will be 1 meter, okay. And if it is narrow gauge, it will be much narrower than the meter gauge, which is 0.762. We have to remember these values, okay, and put accordingly the G value. Please note this equation. We will solve problems, okay. So in this way you can derive the equations or relationship between E, G, V square, 1, 2, okay. Now this equations, this E value depending upon the speed that you are using may differ, okay. Sometimes it is also known as equilibrium current, okay. Sometimes it is known as maximum current, okay, or we can say theoretical current, okay. So one is practical and another is theoretical, okay, depending upon the speed that we are using. It will be practical, but the formula will be same, okay. Now see, equilibrium current, okay. Equilibrium current is what? It is basically the E value derived or calculated using average speed, okay. If we put the average speed of the railway track, say for example from Bajbaj to Chalda, that track value is there, okay. There are, no, we can say from Howrah to Kharagpur, okay. So in the same track, local trains are also traveling. In the same track, express trains are also Rajdhani express trains are also traveling, okay. So obviously the speed will be varying, right? Sometimes it will train will travel with maximum speed, sometimes it will travel with small less speed, okay. So your speed may vary. So in that case, what happens? Track is same, but speed is, the range of speed is varying, right? So what we have to take? We have to take an average value, okay. We know that E is what? E is dependent upon the speed. If we take the maximum value, suppose if we take the maximum V value, then your E will be very high. That means it will be more tilted, okay. Or if we consider the minimum value, your E will be very less. In both the cases, it will be difficult for train to travel, right? If E is very high, then also it is very tough to travel, okay. If E is very low, then what happens? There will be the chance of this, your F cos alpha will be more in if the speed of the vehicle will move with higher than that minimum speed, okay. That means what? If local train will travel, we will get something E value. If high speed express train will travel, we will get something value, right? But if we design the super elevation based on only one type of speed, then it will not be good design, okay. It will not be safe, because if we design with express train, as per express train, your tilt will be more, okay, which will not be again be safe for those train, those who are traveling with lesser speed. Okay, again, if we design this super elevation based on the local train speed, then what happens when a Rajdhani Express train will travel, then this force will be more in that case, because the speed is more, that means force. See, force is again divided, related to speed of the train. Okay, so speed of the train is more, force will be more, that means outer force will be more, whereas super elevation is very less, so this term will be very less. Okay, so it will not tackle the outer force. Then what happens, there will, if the speed is very high, in that case, for if your super elevation is very less, then what happens, there will be chance of derailment. Okay, so what we have to do then? We have to go for the average, not for the maximum, not for the minimum. We will design this elevation for average condition. Okay, and that is called the equilibrium count. Okay, it is provided on the basis of average speed. Now, how to calculate this average speed? We will learn this also. We will have to calculate this average speed also, right? So, see, average speed or equilibrium speed for broad gauge and meter gauge track can be determined by this method. Okay, A, B, C. In this three way, we have to calculate. You can calculate in the any of these three. Okay, see, when the maximum sanction speed. See, please remember, maximum sanction speed means what? It is the speed when your train is traveling in a straight path, not in the curve. Okay, so if that speed, maximum speed is greater than 50, we have to calculate two values of average speed. We have to calculate average speed by these two methods. First, average speed is what? Whatever is the V maximum, 75% of that maximum value must be the average speed. Okay, and please remember, these are what? These are equilibrium. That means we are using this speed in calculating super elevation. That means these are the speed on the curved track, not on the straight track. Okay, we are calculating what should be the average speed on the curved track. Okay, so obviously in the curve your speed should be lesser, so it is 0.75%. Okay, or we can also calculate safe speed on the curve given by the Martin's formula. So this is the Martin's formula. Okay, we have already gone through it. Where it is? See, these are the Martin's formula. Okay, again we have to see whether transition curve is there or not there. Okay, so in that case we have to use either this or this, and also if your speed is very high, we have to use this value. Okay, this equation. So when your maximum speed, sanction speed is greater than 50, we have to take minimum of these two value. Okay, when your Vmax is lesser than 50 or equal to 50, we will take these two, minimum of these two value. Okay, and in many cases they will give you a problem, or they will give you like this type of the problem. In that case we have to use this equation. Okay, where n is the number of the train moving with V1. N1 is the number of the trains moving with V1 km/h speed. N2 is the number of the train moving with V2 km/h speed. Okay, so then what is the average speed of all those trains? So this is the formula, N1 V1 plus N2 V2 by N1 plus N2, like that. Okay, so let us solve one problem. See, what is the equilibrium count? Okay, on a 2-degree curve, D is 2 degree on a BG track. BG, broad gauge is given, that means G will be, what is the G value for broad gauge track?
1.676.
1.676 meter, right? Very good. See, for this condition, for this type of the track whose degree is what? 2 degree, find the equilibrium count. That means E, we have to calculate. Okay, for that we have to find what I said, in the curve we have to use the average speed value. Okay, for getting this equilibrium count we have to calculate the average speed. So for that, these are the data provided. What if 15 trains, 10 trains and 5 trains and 2 trains are running at speed of this and this respectively? That means using this data we have to use this formula. Okay, and calculate average speed, and whatever value of V we will get, we will use in this equation. Where is that equation? Sorry. See, this equation we have to use. First, they have asked you to calculate the equilibrium count. Okay, G is given 1.676. R we need to calculate. For that we need degree. Degree is provided where R equals to 1720 by degree, and V we need to calculate. Okay, so V can be calculated using this value. Okay, now calculate and tell me what is the value of V. This is N1 V1, N2 V2, N3 V3, N4 V4.
And 54.
54. 15 into 50 plus
No,
10 into 60 plus 5 into 70 plus 2 into 80 divided by 15, 10, 25, 25, 5, 30, 32. 58.125. Your speed will be 58.125. N1 is what? 15, 50. 15 into 50. 10 into 60. 5 into 70. And one more term, 2 into 80 divided by 15 number of trains. 15 plus 10 plus 5 plus 2, 32. So we will get 58.125. Clear? Now we will use this V in which equation? In equilibrium count equation. Okay. So we are our answer is in kilometer per hour. So we will use this equation GV square by 127 R. Okay. Capital V square by 127 R. So put your G will be for broad gauge. It is 1.676. Okay. And your R is what? Say 1720 by D. D is 2 degree. Substitute this value and tell me what is the value of E, and it will be in meter. Okay. What is the value of E? बोलो बाकीরা কেন রেসপন্স করে না গো পৃথা আছো কি নেই শুভজিৎ দত্ত বা শুভজিৎ বিশ্বাস
আছি ম্যাম
তো করছো না কেন বলো
করছি
कितना आएगा ई का वैल्यू जी वी नो 1.676 वी नो 1720 बाय 2 डिग्री तो 2 मतलब आर का वैल्यू ये पता है हमको वी इट्स ऑलरेडी कैलकुलेटेड वी हैव टू यूज एवरेज स्पीड ओके व्हाई वी आर यूजिंग ये आई हैव ऑलरेडी एक्सप्लेन मैक्सिमम स्पीड अगर देकर करोगे तो बहुत ज्यादा ई आ जाएगा कम स्पीड करके दोगे तो बहुत कम ई आ जाएगा तो दोनों केस में इट वोंट बी सेफ ठीक है मैक्सिमम स्पीड के लिए तो ठीक है लेकिन जब स्लो मूविंग वहां से जाएगा तो क्या होगा वो उतना टिल्टेड उसमें नहीं जा पाएगा क्योंकि उसका स्पीड ही बहुत कम है ठीक है और अगर तुम कम स्पीड के हिसाब से डिजाइन करोगे ई तो ई विल बी वेरी लेस उसमें अगर मैक्सिमम स्पीड वाला ट्रेन जाएगा तो क्या होगा पलट जाएगा बिकॉज इन दैट केस योर सेंट्रीफ्यूगल फोर्स विल बी वेरी हाई इतना आ रहा है 5.4 सेंटीमीटर मीटर में आएगा उसको सेंटीमीटर में कन्वर्ट कर देना क्लियर क्यों बोले ही ना কিছু পুলক হয়েছে
না ম্যাম
করনি
করছি ম্যাম মেলেনি
মেলেনি ভিটা তো এতই
ভুল
আসবে
করেছি।
ঠিক আছে এটা দেখো इट विल कम लाइक दिस ओके नाउ लिमिटेशन मैक्सिमम कितना दे सकते हैं ओके सुपर एलिवेशन इट इज 1/10 ऑफ द गॉज मतलब वही है 1.676 है तो यहाँ पे देखा 16.5 कर दिया वो 10 मीटर का था 1 मीटर का था तो इंटू 1 सेंटीमीटर 1 मीटर आ जाएगा 1/10 इंटू 1 सॉरी 0.1 हुआ जाएगा ठीक है 0.1 मीटर दैट इज योर 10 सेंटीमीटर ठीक है एंड इट वाज 76.762 उसका 1/10 जो भी आएगा दैट विल बी इन मीटर उसको सेंटीमीटर में कन्वर्ट कर दो ओके सो दीज आर द मैक्सिमम लिमिट ऑफ सुपर एलिवेशन ओके सी सुपर एलिवेशन वेरीज फ्रॉम जीरो व्हेन, जहाँ पे स्ट्रेट लाइन जाता है, फिर ट्रांजिशन आता है, फिर तुम्हारा सर्कुलर पाथ आता है, राइट। तो जब स्ट्रेट जाता है वहां पे तो सुपर एलिवेशन नहीं होता है, ठीक है। अब स्ट्रेट जहाँ पे खत्म हुआ वहां से ट्रांजिशन स्टार्ट हुआ, तो ट्रांजिशन जहाँ से स्टार्ट हो रहा है वहां पे भी सुपर एलिवेशन जीरो है, तो इट इज जीरो एट द बिगिनिंग, ठीक है। अब ट्रांजिशन कर्व स्लोली जैसे जैसे बढ़ता जाएगा कहाँ पे पहुंचेगा, सर्कुलर कर्व की तरफ पहुंचेगा, राइट। तो सर्कुलर कर्व में क्या होना, हमको वहां पे सुपर एलिवेशन दे देना पड़ेगा। तो हम हमारा ट्रांजिशन कर्व का सुपर एलिवेशन कहाँ से कहाँ वैरी कर रहा है, स्ट्रेट को सर्कुलर से ज्वाइन कर रहा है, तो स्ट्रेट का सुपर एलिवेशन जीरो है, सर्कुलर का सुपर एलिवेशन सपोज ई है, सो इट विल वेरी फ्रॉम जीरो टू फुल अमाउंट ऑफ सुपर एलिवेशन, ओके। तो यही बोला हुआ है यहाँ पे। Now another important term is Kant deficiency. Kant deficiency मतलब कि क्या है, देखो, if we are designing, ठीक है, the super elevation, क्या बोलते हैं, मैक्सिमम स्पीड, ठीक है, मैक्सिमम परमिसिबल स्पीड से हम लोग अगर अपना सुपर एलिवेशन डिजाइन करते हैं, तो सपोज दिस इज दैट सुपर एलिवेशन, देखो बहुत बड़ा है, ओके, बट प्रैक्टिकली वी कैन नॉट प्रोवाइड दिस मच, इतना ऊंचा वाला हम लोग सुपर एलिवेशन प्रैक्टिकली देना सही नहीं होगा, ठीक है। देन व्हाट हैपेंस, एक्चुअली हम लोग जो फील्ड में अप्लाई करेंगे या सुपर एलिवेशन देंगे वो ये वाला होगा, पर्पल वाला, थोड़ा इसका हाइट देखो कम हो गया है। देन व्हाट इज द रिडक्शन, तो ये वाला था, ये वाला मैक्सिमम स्पीड की वजह से तुम्हारा सुपर एलिवेशन ये आ गया, लेकिन दिस इज कॉल्ड थ्योरेटिकल भी बोल सकते हैं हम लोग, क्योंकि हम लोग तो कभी मैक्सिमम के हिसाब से डिजाइन नहीं करते, राइट। सो थ्योरेटिकली इतना आ रहा है, ठीक है, लेकिन प्रैक्टिकली हम उसको थोड़ा कम कर दे रहे हैं, तो कितना कम होगा, कितना कांट हम लोग कमा दे रहे हैं, दैट इज द कांट डेफिशिएंसी, ओके, इसको बोलते हैं कांट डेफिशिएंसी। तो हायर कांट डेफिशिएंसी कॉजेस हायर, अब ज्यादा भी कम नहीं कर देना है, ज्यादा भी कम करने से फिर तकलीफ में आ जाएगा। क्या है, द हायर कांट डेफिशिएंसी कॉजेस हायर डिस्कम्फर्ट, हायर कांट डेफिशिएंसी कॉजेस एक्स्ट्रा प्रेशर एंड द लैटरल फोर्सेस ऑन द आउटर रेल्स। ऑब्वियसली ज्यादा कुछ भी ज्यादा अच्छा नहीं है, राइट। तो हम लोग एक लिमिट के अंदर इसको करेंगे, कितना है मैक्सिमम लिमिट, कितना कम कर सकते हैं, अगेन डिपेंडिंग अपॉन द ट्रैक। ब्रॉड गॉज का है 7.6 सेंटीमीटर, मीटर गॉज का है 5.1 सेंटीमीटर एंड नैरो गॉज का है 3.8 सेंटीमीटर, ओके। सो दिस इज द फंडा। नाउ लेट अस सॉल्व वन प्रॉब्लम अगेन, ये प्रॉब्लम करके छोड़ देंगे, ओके। सो ऑन अ ब्रॉड गॉज ट्रैक द इक्विलिब्रियम कांट इज प्रोवाइडेड फॉर अ स्पीड ऑफ 70 किलोमीटर पर आवर, ठीक है, ब्रॉड गॉज बोला है, एक स्पीड भी दिया है, ऑल्सो एज्यूम दैट डिग्री ऑफ कर्व इज 3 डिग्री, ओके। तो बोला है फॉर दिस केस कैलकुलेट, फर्स्ट कैलकुलेट इक्विलिब्रियम कांट, ठीक है, फिर अलाउइंग, अब इक्विलिब्रियम कांट क्या है, ये थ्योरेटिकल कांट भी बोल सकते हैं, राइट। फॉर दिस स्पीड थ्योरेटिकली इतना आएगा, ठीक है, लेकिन हम लोग प्रैक्टिकली थोड़ा कम कर देंगे, तो कितना कम कर देंगे, कांट डेफिशिएंसी कम कर देंगे। सो allowing the maximum calm deficiency, what would be the maximum permissible speed on the track, मतलब actual maximum permissible speed कितना होना चाहिए ट्रैक में, ठीक है। तो पहले इक्विलिब्रियम कांट निकालो, अगेन यूजिंग द सेम फॉर्मूला, यहाँ पे v इज गिवन 70 किलोमीटर पर आवर, ठीक है। g ब्रॉड गॉज बोला है, तो कितना हो जाएगा तुम्हारा, सॉरी ब्रॉड गॉज इज 1.676, r अगेन गिवन, r कैसे होगा 1720/3, ठीक है। तो करके यहाँ पे सब्स्टिट्यूट करके यू विल गेट दिस मच, मीटर आएगा उसको सेंटीमीटर में कन्वर्ट कर देना है, ओके। तो फर्स्ट ओवर, दूसरा क्या है अब, बट दिस इज व्हाट, दिस इज थ्योरेटिकल, लेकिन प्रैक्टिकली क्या हो जाएगा, थोड़ा देखो ये वाला थ्योरेटिकल ये वाला आया हमको, ठीक है, हमारा ये वाला आया, लेकिन हमको पर्पल वाला चाहिए प्रैक्टिकली, तो हमको थोड़ा कम कर देना है, इसका एलिवेशन कम कर देंगे। नाउ फॉर ब्रॉड गॉज व्हाट इज द मैक्सिमम लिमिट दैट वी कैन रिड्यूस इज 7.6 सेंटीमीटर, ओके। सो कांट डेफिशिएंसी मैक्सिमम कितना है, 7.6 सेंटीमीटर फॉर द ब्रॉड गॉज। तो ये एक्चुअली ये वाला थ्योरेटिकली आया ये वाला, ठीक है, इक्विलिब्रियम ये वाला आया, इतना घटा देना है, तो प्रैक्टिकली कितना घटेगा, ठीक है। ओ सॉरी, अच्छा, ये उल्टा हो गया, उल्टा, सॉरी, ओके, यहाँ पे उल्टा पूछा गया है, हाँ ना उल्टा, सॉरी, यहाँ पे क्या दिया है, दिस इज द प्रैक्टिकल, इतना अलाउ हो रहा है, देखो on a broad gauge track equilibrium कांट is provided for the speed of this one, right। एक ट्रैक है जहाँ पे इक्विलिब्रियम कांट ऑलरेडी प्रोवाइड कर चुके हैं जिसका स्पीड इतना है, so this is the practical। तो using this value, this equation or this e value is practical, हम गलत थे. ओके, प्लीज मेक इट क्लियर. दिस इज प्रैक्टिकल, इट इज ऑलरेडी प्रोवाइडेड, मतलब इतना स्पीड से जा रहा है वहां पे, राइट? उस हिसाब से हमने इक्विलिब्रियम कांट दे दिया है ऑलरेडी. सो ये प्रैक्टिकली हो चुका है, राइट? तो वहां पे ऑलरेडी सुपर एलिवेशन ऑलरेडी है. सो दिस इज द प्रैक्टिकल. ठीक है, अब हमको क्या बोला है, मैक्सिमम परमिसिबल स्पीड के लिए कितना होना चाहिए. ठीक है, जैसे ये वाला देखो, दिस इज मैक्सिमम परमिसिबल स्पीड के लिए कितना होना चाहिए. सो व्हाट वी आर डूइंग, वी हैव टू इंक्रीज. ये प्रैक्टिकली ये वाला कैलकुलेट हो गया. नाउ वी हैव टू इंक्रीज. ओके, सो दैट्स व्हाई वी हैव एडेड. सो दिस इज द थ्योरेटिकल कांट. ओके, मतलब ऐड कर दिए कांट एफिशिएंसी को इंक्रीज करके. नाउ फॉर दिस पर्टिकुलर ई वैल्यू कैलकुलेट वी, मतलब ये जो इक्वेशन में है, ई हमको मिल गया, जी हमको पता है, आर हमको पता है, वी निकालो. सिंपल बैक कैलकुलेशंस. ओके, तो यही है. यहाँ पे 3 होगा. ओके, 3 डिग्री है तो करके दिस इज द मैक्सिमम थ्योरेटिकल कांट. ये वाला जो ई है, दिस इज द मैक्सिमम थ्योरेटिकल कांट. दिस इज व्हाट कॉरेस्पॉन्डिंग मैक्सिमम परमिसिबल स्पीड. ओके, तो थ्योरेटिकल कांट ये है, तो उसका कॉरेस्पॉन्डिंग स्पीड को ही हम लोग बोलते हैं मैक्सिमम परमिसिबल स्पीड. क्लियर? थोड़ा गलत हो गया पहले. ठीक है, दिस इज एक्चुअली प्रोवाइडेड, मतलब प्रैक्टिकली ये दे दिया है. ओके, सो परमिसिबल स्पीड आएगा हम लोग का. देखो देखो, इसमें भी कंफ्यूजन मत हो जाना. 90.5 आया तो तुम लोग अच्छा हम इसको 91 लिख देंगे, नहीं. ऑलवेज वी हैव टू रिड्यूस द स्पीड इन द ट्रैक, राइट, इन द कर्व ट्रैक. तो इसको बढ़ाना नहीं है, तुम इतना ही रख सकते हो या इससे कम कर सकते हो. सो अप्रोक्सीमेटली 90 हम लोगों ने पकड़ लिया. ओके ओके, दिस मच फॉर टुडे. वी विल कंटिन्यू द नेगेटिव सुपर एलिवेशन इन द नेक्स्ट क्लास. ओके ओके ओके, जाओ, लेट हो गया सर तुम लोग का.
थैंक यू मैम.
Okay, please go through the PPT and PDF.
ओके मैम.
Thank you, ma'am.
हाँ हाँ,
लेफ्ट हबो मैम.
welcome.